Welcome to Terrifying Tales, the channel dedicated to bringing you original horror stories. Please support the channel by hitting the like button or leaving a comment. And please consider subscribing to the channel by hitting the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I choose death. The evening was pleasant. A summer night after a sweltering day. The gentle ocean breeze drifted through the streets of the seaside town of Drummond Bay. Lucas wrapped his arm around Mary's shoulder. She leaned into him as they walked. Lucas and Mary tied the knot 3 days ago. Both were young. They didn't have much, but they were in love. The short trip to the nearby seaside town was the only honeymoon they could afford, but to them, it was perfect. Mary's face was a never-ending smile. Her eyes drifted along the quaint streets. Although early in the evening, there were still children playing, enjoying ice cream, and making the most of pleasant conditions. Mary found Lucas's perfect brown eyes staring into hers. "Do we have to go home tomorrow?" she said. "Unfortunately we do, Mrs. Roberts. I could only get a few days off from the mill," Lucas said. A fake frown creased Mary's forehead. "Why did I have to marry someone so responsible, Mr. Roberts?" Lucas shrugged. "Only you can answer that question. You're the one who said yes." "And I'd answer that question the same way 1,000 times out of 1,000, Mary replied. She rose to her tiptoes and planted a kiss on his cheek. The crash of the waves on the nearby beach echoed along an alley. Mary tugged at Lucas's shirt sleeve to stop. The pair stared along the dark alley between the closed shops. At the end of the alley, the beach was lit beneath the pale moonlight. "Can we see the beach one last time?" Mary asked. Lucas nodded. He led Mary into the alley with his arm gently around her shoulder. "Someone's a long way from home," Lucas said. The white owl sat on the building gutter staring down with bright blue eyes. "It's beautiful," Mary said. The owl's eyes followed them as they continued along the alley toward the beach. A figure stepped from the shadows. Lucas's arm tensed around Mary's shoulder as the blade of the knife slid into his belly. "Lucas!" Mary's scream echoed along the alley. "Shut up, bitch!" the figure said. Lucas dropped to the cold concrete of the alley, the knife still in his stomach. Blood pooled around his body. Lucas lifted himself from the concrete. Pain ripped through his body like a lightning bolt as the knife shifted. He dropped back to the ground in a heap. He watched helplessly as the figure dragged Mary along the alley, the unmistakable gleam of a second knife blade in the figure's hand. Lucas turned to lie on his back. He stared up at the moon in the clear night sky. Mary's screams echoed all around. The owl landed on the gutter above the alley. Its eyes found Lucas. Mary stopped mid-scream. The pain from the stab wound in Lucas's stomach ceased. The owl flew away. The distant echo of high-heeled shoes carried along the alley. Lucas lay frozen as the echo drew closer. The face of a stranger peered down at him. The woman was beautiful. Pale face, white dress, long blonde hair, almost white. "Is this an angel?" Lucas wondered, staring up into the bright blue eyes. "Not quite," the woman said, reading his thoughts. A gentle smile covered her face. "My name is Erinese." Erinese held her hand down toward Lucas. He found he could move again. Lucas accepted Erinese' hand, and she lifted him from the ground. Breath caught in his throat as he stared down at his own body on the ground. Blood poured around the blade of the knife. The red pool spread on the concrete. "That's why I'm here," Erinese said. Someone made a mistake. Time was frozen. The waves of the beach came to a standstill, suspended mid-air, inches from crashing into the dunes. Closer still were the shadows of two figures in the alley. Come, Erinese said. Lucas followed the woman toward the figures. Erinese's high heels clicked on the concrete. Lucas discovered his steps made no sound at all. He felt his heart tighten in his chest as he drew closer to the figures. Mary was cowering on the ground, her hands held high to shield her face. The knife blade hovered above her. A look of rage filled the face of the man wielding the blade. Lucas did not know the man in the dirty long coat. The man's teeth were gritted and yellow, his face dirty and weathered. Something unforeseen has happened here, Lucas, Erinese said. In this alley tonight, fate destined 2 souls to die, not 3. Fate intended for you and your beloved to die, but she is with child. Your son, Lucas. Tears welled in Lucas's eyes. Mary's pregnant? Erinese's eyes found Lucas's. Yes. I offer you a choice, Lucas. A choice not many are offered. 2 souls will die this night. Lucas turned back toward his own lifeless body. What can I do? I can return your soul to your body, Lucas, and you will live. Along with the man who put the knife in your belly, your wife and son will die. Or, your wife and unborn son can live, and you will die along with this evil man. Lucas shook his head. This doesn't make any sense. You stopped time. Why can't you save us all? Pity filled Erinese's eyes. 2 souls are fated. I can only intervene so much. I can do nothing to take a life, but I can give you 60 seconds. If you so choose, you will have 60 seconds to end that man's life and save your family. The task is yours to fulfill. If you fail, you will automatically survive along with the man. You must kill him in order for your wife and son to live. Erinese's face fell blank. You must choose now, Lucas. Your life or your family's? I choose death, Lucas said. So be it. Lucas found himself lying on his back in the alley. Mary's screams filled his ears once more. Lucas struggled to his feet. The figure held the knife high above the cowering Mary. The figure turned, seeing Lucas get up. 60 seconds, Lucas thought, ripping the knife from his own belly. The handle was slick with his own blood as his fingers tightened around the handle. The figure ripped Mary from the ground and pulled her in front of himself. He brought the knife up to Mary's throat. Take a step forward and I'll slit her throat. Lucas! Shut up, bitch! The figure pressed the blade to the skin of Mary's throat. His face twisted into a menacing smile. Lucas froze, unsure what to do. If the man carried out his threat, he would fail, and Mary would die, along with his unborn son. The white owl swooped down from above. The man screamed as the talons tore at his eyes. Mary broke free and dropped to the ground. Lucas charged. The man's eyes grew wide with disbelief as Lucas plunged the knife through his chest, straight through his heart. Choking on his own blood, the man dropped dead to the concrete. Lucas fell backwards, clutching his stomach. Mary's face peered over him. Tears filled her eyes. Take care of our son, Lucas said. His eyes went dark and his chest stopped moving. Mary dropped her head to his chest and cried as she held him. Lucas was away from his body once more. He felt the gentle fingers on his shoulder. You made the same decision I would have made, Erinese said. Screams erupted as the ground opened beneath the body of the other man. Flames burst upward. Clawed hands emerged and tore through his skin, ripping the bloody corpse down to the flames below. Once he was gone, the ground closed over once more. Terror covered Lucas's face. "Do not worry," Erinys said. "You are destined for peace. You have my word. I'll watch over your wife and son, Lucas." A bright light filled the alley. When it vanished, so had Lucas. If you like what you heard, please like and share the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Remember, the dark plays tricks with our mind, but sometimes it isn't a trick. Sometimes there really is something there.